Good afternoon and welcome to the 129th edition of the Carroll County 4-H and FFA Fair. On the right side of the ring, your left, we're beginning our Dairy Goat Show. We're very glad to welcome our senior exhibitors as we begin with our showmanship classes.
Well, we get back out here for your flock division, and yeah, there's the flock up here, or yeah, the three up here. I mean, similar story. They're very good built. They're good quality livestock, and and they're have some shape and have some have the extra added features to them. And the ones back here, not taking anything away from them. Good made sheep, good from the side. Just might not have that extra punch or stoutness of feature. With that being said, the trio up here will be your champions, and these will be your reserves.
Results of your Katahdin flock: first to Emma Cole, second to Rayleigh Barron. We are now done the Katahdin breed, and we're moving into our Shropshire division. We're going to start with class 42, Junior Ram Lamb. We have 2 entries, both by Elliot Weisschauer.
Well, we get your shop division started here, and the young man brings us a ram that, brings a lot of power, and you get your hands on him, you're surely not disappointed. There's tons of shape and tons of mass and muscle up high to get your hands on, and you get off to the side of that one. He ties really good up through his front 1/3. He moves around the ring, how they should, correctly on their feet and legs. Just a very nice way to go ahead and start the class. The young man coming out next, one that you appreciate its front 1/3. It has a smooth shoulder laid in him. His neck sits on the top side of his blade. I just want to stouten him up at the ground and make him flex a little bit better out of his rear 2 legs there to go any higher and give him a shot more muscle, but give those young men a round of applause.
We'd like to congratulate our first place junior Ram Lamb is your champion Shropshire Ram. That award was sponsored by Deanna and Lucas Skyman. Your second place junior Ram Lamb was also exhibited by Elliot Weishauer, and that award was sponsored by Hickory Hollow Agronomics. We are now moving into our Shropshire Yearling U division. We have 2 entries by Elliot Weishauer.
All right, good afternoon. This is our showmanship class for our seniors. You can stop right there. And actually, you can bring yours over here. We're going to set them up so that they're facing the crowd. Face it just like how his is. Yep, perfect. All right, we have 2 showmen in the class ring right now, and I'm placing 1 over 2. He's just got a little bit more experience. He also has a little bit cleaner of an animal. If you look, I was giving a lot of tips to each of them as individually. But some of it is cleanliness under the tail, making sure that the hooves are trimmed properly, and making sure that when you're doing the clip job that you're not missing any areas, especially in some of the hidden spots like under the arms, or in between the toes and things like that. And our first exhibitor just excelled in that. If you look at the cleanliness of his animal, it's a lot cleaner than our doe in second at this time. I will commend our second place exhibitor on her knowledge of the goat. This is her first year in dairy goats, and I hope that it's not her last, because she did an excellent job of learning the scorecard, learning the parts of the animal, and hopefully next time when she comes in, the cleanliness will be changed and she'll be moving up and giving him a little bit more of a challenge in that. All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
Back over here on the sheep side of things, the young man that's going to lead off the class with the ewe out front here. One that you get in behind that one, and she has a lot of turn to her rib and a lot of shape in her rib, and you get your hands on her, and she's big and square in her loin there, and I think that's where she excels over the ewe behind her. The ewe behind her, I stepped off of them, and I thought that maybe you could justify putting that one ahead of the other one, just in terms of how she's built from the side and how elegant she is up through her front 1/3. But where she lacks is right there behind her blade. She just kind of gets a little soft today and a little rounder in her loin to go any higher today. But let's give those 2 young men a round of applause.
In our senior showmanship division, congratulations to our first place exhibitor, Hunter Hoff. Second place to Kylie Medlin. In the ring now we have our intermediate exhibitors.
Results of your Shropshire Yearling U class, first to Elliot Weishauer and second to Elliot Weishauer. We're now going to do class 47, Shropshire Junior ULAM. We need to give Elliot just a minute here to switch halters and leads. He has 2 entries in this class. At the conclusion of this class, we are going to select your champion and reserve champion, Shropshire U.
Again, we welcome everyone to the 129th edition of the Carroll County 4-H and FFA Fair. And on the Dairy Goat side, we'd like to introduce our judge to you this afternoon. His name is Jason Peckham, and he's been raising dairy goats since 1992 and currently raises Oberhausley and Toggenburg dairy goats under the Sublime herd name. He shows both locally and nationally has earned Reserve National Champion 2 times, and in 2026 was named Reserve Premier Breeder of Oberhausley at the National Show. Jason lives in Owings Mills, Maryland, and has been a teacher for 27 years and currently teaches 5th graders in Baltimore County Public Schools. Would you join me in welcoming Jason to the Carroll County Fair today?
A young man that's going to lead off this class here brings us to you. I think in terms of balance from the side, paints a pretty picture. Good fronted, good built, and you get up on her, and she has a lot of turn to her rib and some rib shape, and that one in second. I think that one's tall-shouldered and runs uphill. I just don't think she is proportional in her underline, and she gets a little flat-sided there in her rib shape for me today. But let's give those young men a round of applause.
Congratulations to first place and second place, Elliot Weishauer in the Junior ULAM show class. We are now going to select your champion and reserve champion, Shropshire U. From class 45, Yearling U is Elliot Weishauer. And from class 47, Elliot Weishauer. Give him a second to bring those into the ring. Your champion was sponsored by Kitchens by QBI. Your reserve Shropshire was going to be sponsored by North Carroll Vet Incorporated.
Attention all dairy goat exhibitors. We're very glad today that we get to share some of our exhibitors with our dairy judging competition, and because of that we'll need to make a couple of changes to the program as it is printed for you. So we are going to begin our breed show with all other purebred. We'll be moving our alpines to later in the show. So as you're preparing to come in for our breed classes, a reminder, we're going to start with all other purebreds and move on from there. We'll announce the alpine show as soon as we're able. Thank you.
well, we get back out here for your champion Schropp, and I'm not going to go through and describe them all again. I think there's one that fits the mold of what a show sheep or a breeding piece should look like, and in a functionality standpoint as well. I think there's one that is just a little better built, through her front 1/3, a little smoother made. Hey, she might not be the stoutest one out here, but that's fine. We're showing females, and they need to go home and have the babies at the end of the day. They don't have to be big burly things, and the one that comes in close behind it, I think it just is a little too much burliness to her, and maybe just not as smooth and as made as the other. And with that being said, I'll get you a champion.
Results of your champion Shropshire U. Congratulations to Elliot Weishauer with his Class 47 winner, the Junior U, and the reserve was from Class 46, the Yearling U. We now will show a pair of Shropshire lambs and then a pair of yearlings.
All right, this is our intermediate showman, and I'm going to place 1 over 2. This placement comes more toward understanding the scorecard and parts of the animal. Both animals are very well clipped, cleaned. They both did a fantastic job in that area. So it really did come down to understanding the parts of the goat, where to set up your goat. One of the reasons I had them kind of moving around is I wanted them to show off their goat to the best of their ability and to where they thought it would be the best for their goat. And one of the things that I explained to them is that they want to make sure that the goat is in between the judge and themselves, and that so that the judge can see the entire goat, not just a part of the goat, but the entire goat. 1 is placing over 2 for that understanding in those body parts over our second place one. But the second gentleman, he is to be commended for his cleanliness of his animal. So, thank you. Do I have tears? Oh no. Well, the good thing is we won't.
Back over here on the sheep side of things, and the young men bring us a single entry pair of ewes, and you get off the side and study them. There's some similarities. I think maybe that one isn't quite as balanced as the one in front of her in her underline, but certainly a nice pair for those young men. Let's give them a round of applause.
In our intermediate showmanship, congratulations to Lloyd Arball, and second place to Weston Huff. In the ring now, we're looking for our novice exhibitors. We should have a single entry. The Carroll County Fair is excited to bring back one more time our alumni showmanship competition for all of our breeds and species. And so if you would like to nominate someone to participate in alumni showmanship, you can come up and see this young man here. He's got the sign-up sheet. It's $20 to nominate someone. It is $50 to get out of that nomination, if I understand correctly. So you can come up here to the table and nominate someone you love or maybe someone you don't for the alumni showmanship competition. We look forward to that following our breed show.
Back over here on the sheep side of things, and we got a pair of yearlings out here, single entry, and I asked the young man a little earlier, I said, do you have all the strops in this show? And he said, yeah, I'm a big strop guy. I can appreciate that. He has brought us very good sheep all afternoon here, and I want to commend him on his stock and the way that he gets them presented. I think that that's a very nice pair, and let's give them a round of applause.
We are now going to have the Shropshire Flock exhibit, and that will be a single entry by Elliot Weissschauer. Back on the sheep side of things, similar story. We bring them back out for a single entry flock, and the young man raises them, and I think he's doing a fantastic job, and has a bright future ahead of in his flock, and that should be commended for him and his family. So let's give them a round of applause. We'd like to congratulate Elliot Weissschauer on exhibiting a pair of lambs, a pair of yearlings, and a flock. That does conclude our Shropshire show. We are now moving into our Southdown show. We have a single Southdown yearling ewe entry for class 58. Commercial ram exhibitors, please start getting your rams ready and make your way to ringside. Commercial ram exhibitors.
All right, this is our novice showman, and this is her first year in showing, and she did a fantastic job. She clipped her animal very nicely. She knew her part that I asked about, and she learned a new part, and I think that we have a future showman on our hands, so I look forward to seeing her in the ring in the future. Bam.
A single entry over here, and the young lady brings this, big, bulky kind of type of ewe. You get your hands on her, and she's big and massive on the top side of her skeleton there. And I'll be interested to get her back out here and evaluate her a little later on. Let's give her a round of applause.
Would you join me in giving a warm congratulations to our novice exhibitor, Britta Ricard, who will place first in that class. Congratulations to Britta. And at this time, we welcome back our first and second place showmanship entries as we select our grand and reserve grand showmen.
We would like to congratulate Estella Gover for exhibiting your champion South Down U. We are now ready to start our commercial yearling ram class. We have a single entry by Ariella Currents. We're looking for class 94 commercial junior ram lambs.
Another single entry over here on the sheep side, and a young lady brings us a ram that's dead level in his top. He's good up through his front 1/3. You can appreciate how square he is in his hip and how he carries that levelness out through. I'll be interested to get him back out here and a little later on. Let's give her a round of applause.
Your commercial ram lamb class for yearling ram, class 92, first place to Ariella Currents. We are going to be on a brief break while one of our exhibitors finishes in the goat ring.
right, so I'm going to be selecting my grand showman and my reserve grand showman out here. But first, all of these showmen have worked really hard, and even though some of them may not have wanted to cooperate today, they all still worked really hard on clipping these animals, making sure that they were clean, that they knew some of the parts, they knew some of the maneuvers as they were going around the ring. So for my grand champion today, I am going to go with my senior showman. He just always kept his eye on the judge. Even when I kind of ignored him a little bit at the very end, I did that purposely just to kind of see if he was going to always keep his eye on me. His animal is the cleanest animal out here, and he's very well deserving of that. And then when it gets a little bit closer for our reserve, but I think I'm going to stay in that same class and go with our second place senior. Her animal was nice and clean. Unfortunately, one of our gentlemen, his goat's just not wanting to cooperate. She's kind of had her fill for the day, which made it very difficult. He worked her, but unfortunately, it didn't measure up right today. So our reserve is going to go to our second place senior showman. Congratulations. Congratulations, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to our grand champion showman, Hunter Hoff, and our reserve grand champion showman, Kylie Medlin.
We're ready to move into Class 94 here on the sheep side. Class 94 is Commercial Junior Ram Lamb. We have two exhibitors, Elliot Waschauer and Kylie Medlin.
At this time, we welcome our Champion Challenge Showmanship class. The exhibitors in the ring have won grand champion previously, and we bring them out to compete against one another.
we get things fired back up over here on the sheep side, and a young lady that's going to lead off the class. I think as soon as that ram hit the ring, instant class winner, and he kind of wins for fun in terms of build and skeletal design. That thing runs uphill. He's good shouldered. He's level top, and you get your hands on him. Yes, he's a little more immature than the one behind him, but he still handles with some power and mass down his top. A nice way to start the class. Not taking anything away from the young man's ram here in second. One that's big and bold and punchy, in the top side of his skeleton there. I just think we need to redesign his shoulder blade, push it up in him, and give him a shot more shape there in his lower stifle to move any higher today. But certainly a nice ram for that young man. Let's give them a round of applause.
Congratulations to our commercial junior Ram Lamb exhibitors. First was awarded to Kylie Medlin and second to Elliot Weishauer. We are now going to select our commercial champion Ram. Back in the ring, we'll have Ariel Currents from class 92, Kylie Medlin from class 94, and the second in that class was Elliot Weishauer. Your champion Ram Lamb is sponsored by Ripple Creek Farms, and your reserve is sponsored by Brad and Tracy Rill. If you are exhibiting commercial yearling ewes, again, commercial yearling ewe exhibitors, please make your way to the makeup area.
Well, we bring those class winners back out, and and up for contention for champion Ram, and that one that single entry out of that first class. We talked about that one being square in his build and square in his skeletal design, and you got to appreciate that about him. I just think today he might have ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw, so to speak. That blue ram in the back here, that one is just incredibly well built up through its front 1/3. Its neck sits right there on the top side of his blade, how you like to see them built. I think that one wins for fun, and then the one behind it will be reserved.
We would like to congratulate Kylie Medlin for exhibiting your champion commercial ram and Elliot Weishauer for exhibiting your reserve champion ram. If I'm following the program right, I think we're going to need a few minutes. We apologize. We're going to have to take a brief delay. One of our exhibitors is showing goats currently. It should only be a few minutes.
right, so this is our challenge class where previous winners come in to challenge the winner of the day. And today I'm going to start with a young lady that's at the head of the line. She just had a command over the show ring, and it's kind of this quiet confidence that puts her at that top place. Because the one thing that when you're showing the goat, you want to make sure that the judge is always looking at your goat and not really looking at you as much. She makes sure that the goat is the star of the show. And every time that I would look over, she knew where I was. There were a couple times when a couple of the others didn't have that awareness as much when I would walk around, and then they were kind of like looking, where was he? Where was he? But she knew exactly where I was at all times. And even when we were walking around the ring, her animal, you can tell that she's worked with this animal. She's also kept it extremely clean. So she is going to be our winner of the challenge class today. Congrats on winning. Thank you for coming in. Did I need to place all of them? Just the winner.
Yep, you're good. You're good. Congratulations to our champion challenge exhibitor, Estella Gover.
Estella's making her way around, and we are going to proceed here with our commercial yearling U class. We have 6 entries, including Estella Gover, Madison Myers, Elliot Weishauer, Sophie Hampt, a second entry by Elliot Weishauer, and Violet Miller. This is a second invitation for our alumni showmanship class here at the Carroll County Fair on the dairy goat side. Want to let you know who's already in so that you can get excited about who isn't in yet. So we're excited to welcome Laura Huff, Amy Vargas Ridinger, Emily Chamlin, Sam Chamlin, and Wyatt Snyder. That list is great. That list is not long enough. So if you'd like to nominate someone, you can see my guy Torin here at the front desk. He'll get you signed up. $20 to get in, $50 to get out. And attention dairy goat exhibitors, following our AOP show, we're going to be moving to the Nubian show. So moving from AOP to Nubian to accommodate some of our exhibitors. So our Nubian exhibitors, you all are up next.
This is our AOP junior show. We just had 2 entries, and one is placing over 2 for advantages in general appearance. She's just a little bit stronger over that top line, especially in the area of the loin. She also is tracking more smoothly on those feet and legs than our doe that's standing in 2. She will yield a little bit of width of escutcheon to our doe that's standing in 2, but she is going to beat first with general appearance. She also is a little bit stronger in dairy strength, being a little bit more open-ribbed than our doe that's standing in 2. 2 is should be commended, though, for that width and that escutcheon and the sharpness of her withers.
Back over here on the sheep side of things, and a young lady that's going to go ahead and lead off the class, I think does so pretty handily. Brings us a ewe that's super tall-shouldered and runs uphill, and when she gets that thing propped up, and she's dead level, and just how she's designed is how where the commercial sheep industry is going. That's that's where we're headed, is tall-fronted and good-looking, and you get your hands on that one, and she still handles with some mass and power up high. I really appreciate that one. The one in second, not taking anything away from her, a really good built kind of ewe, and I think where she excels over third is she still flexes out of her hock there and moves how she should out of her rear too, and you appreciate that about her. I'd just like to tuck her up in her chest floor and elevate her out of her shoulder just a little bit to go any higher today, but a nice ewe for that young lady. The young man there and next, the one that's a similar story is the one that won the class, tall-fronted, good-shouldered. I just want to fix her in her rear 2 wheels there. I want to give her a little more flex out of that hock and a shot more stifle there to go any higher today. And we get on down the line here, just some sheep that we need to redesign in their front end and clean them up and refine them just a little bit to go any higher today. But let's give all those young people a round of applause.
Results of your commercial yearling ewe class: first, Madison Myers; second, Sophie Ham; third, Elliot Weishauer; fourth, Estella Gover; fifth, Elliot Weishauer; and sixth, Violet Miller. We're now ready for our commercial junior ewe lamb class. This class has 7 entries, including the following exhibitors: Luke Myers, Elliot Weishauer, Estella Gover, Elliot Weishauer, Kylie Medlin, Sophie Hampt, and Emma Shaw. At the conclusion of this class, we will be selecting our champion and reserve champion commercial ewes.
Congratulations in our AOP dry yearling class. First place is Hunter Hoff. Second place, Lloyd Arball. Because those are our AOP goats, Hunter will also be winning junior champion AOP. Lloyd has reserve champion AOP. Hunter will also be winning grand champion overall AOP. And Lloyd is our reserve grand champion AOP. In the ring now, we're moving on to our Nubian show, and we have our Nubian junior kid class with a single entry from Britta Ricard.
We'd like to take a quick moment here to wish Miss Candy Cole a very happy birthday.
Yeah, junior kid.
All right, we have a single entry in our junior kid class. She's a sharp and angular kid with nice front legs, and so she's worthy of a blue ribbon today, and I look forward to seeing her come back in the ring for champion.
Congratulations to our first place Nubian junior kid, Britta Ricard. On the dairy goat side, we're going to hit pause for just a second. We have exhibitor in the sheep ring. We'll hold the show for a minute or two to ensure that she gets a chance to show her animals.
Over on the sheep side of things, the young lady that's going to lead off the class, I think hit me the hardest as soon as she hit the ring. One that you get off to the side, and that thing it runs uphill. It's good shouldered. It's built really good right there, and it's front 1/3. And you get your hands on her, and she definitely doesn't give up any slack there. She still handles with some shape and with some mass up high. I think a very nice way to go ahead and lead off the class. The young lady in second, similar story, kind of similar build. I just not as quite as expressive and shapely right there behind her blade, and I'd like to see her just a little more square to the touch across her loin to move ahead of that one ahead of her, but a nice U for that young lady. And the young man coming out next, one that's good build on the back side here. I just want to see that thing elevated through its front 1/3 and just a bit, a little bit firmer touch to the handle today to go any higher. And we get on down through the line here, just some sheep we got to add some substance to and fix structurally to go any higher today. Let's give those young people a round of applause. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job. Good job.
Results of Class 99 is as follows. Congratulations to Estella Gover. Second was Sophie Hampt. Third was Elliot Weisschauer. Fourth was Kylie Medlin. Fifth to Elliot Weisschauer. Sixth to Luke Myers. And seventh to Emma Shaw. If you're following along in the program, 6, 3, 1, 5, 4, 2, and 7. We are now going to select your champion and reserve champion, Commercial U. From Class 97, we have Madison Myers, and her second was Sophie Hampt. And from our Class 99 Junior U class, we have Estella Gover, and her second was Sophie Hampt.
we get back out here for your champion commercial U, and the one out of that first class, one that is still youthful in her makeup and fresh to the touch. To bring a yearling back out in this kind of shape and condition, should be commended, because I know just as well as anybody that they get fat very quick, and to keep that one fresh and youthful and still looking good, and that one's build is very good. She's tall-shouldered, she's short-bladed, and her neck sits right on the top side of her blade, and and her front end is just designed how you'd like, and then you get your hands on her, and she has a ton of shape up high, and certainly a nice one there in that first class. And the young lady in that second class, one that we talked about, it's designed from the side, and really good. I don't know that she's as extended in her neck, and her front 1/3 is that yearling ahead of her, but certainly one that is designed very good, handles good, and maybe just a little immature today, in comparison. But with that being said, I'll go ahead and get you a champion in reserve.
Congratulations, your champion commercial U was exhibited by Madison Myers, and that was sponsored by Brad and Elizabeth Thomas. Your reserve champion commercial U, that class was sponsored by Bobby Schmidt and family, and we'd like to congratulate Estella Gover. In our commercial pair of lambs, we have a single entry by Elliot Weishauer. Following this class, we will continue to our pair of yearling ewes. And we also have a flock of commercials.
Thank you. You good? All right, we're back up and running on the dairy goat side, and so we'll welcome to the ring our Nubian dry yearling class. We have 2 entries from Estella Gover.
Well, we get back out here for your pairs, and the young men bring us a nice pair of ewes here. I think they both complement each other in their build and design up through their front 1/3 there. I think that that they pair very well, and let's give them a round of applause.
Congratulations to Elliot for exhibiting your first place commercial pair of lambs. We're going to give Elliot a chance to walk around here so he can get his pair of yearlings.
This is our dry yearling class, and one is placing over 2 for advantage in general appearance. When you watch them on the move, she's just a lot more level over that top line. She's also stronger on those feet and legs, especially those rear pasterns as she's moving around the ring than our doe that's standing in 2. She also has strength in dairy, or an advantage in dairy strength, being a little bit fuller boned than our doe that's standing in 2, a little bit more open in those ribbing than our second place animal. I do want to commend on the dairyness of ours, but she's a little bit fine boned to be able to move her up into first place today.
Well, the young men bring us another pair of ewes over here, yearling ewes, and a nice set. And I think they both complement each other and have some give or take. And I'll be interested to get them back out here against the other ones if we were doing that. But let's give these young men a round of applause.
Congratulations. Your commercial pair of yearlings were exhibited by Elliot Weisschauer. And we are going to conclude our commercial classes with, I believe we have a commercial flock. So that means if you have wool breeds, please start getting your lambs ready. We're going to start with junior ram lamb in just a moment.
In our Nubian dry yearling class, congratulations to Estella Gover's Striptease. Second place to Estella Gover's Fancy Like Applebee's. In the ring now, we're selecting our Nubian junior champion.
Single entry for the flock division over here, and just to commend the young man again for bringing a good solid set of sheep all day, and his ring help has been great, and he does a phenomenal job of getting these things shown and presented, and well, let's give him a round of applause, and we'll go move on.
We'd like to congratulate Elliot Weisschauer on exhibiting his commercial flock. That does conclude our commercial division. We are now ready to move on to wool breeds. We will start our wool breeds with Class 107, a single junior ram lamb entry by Nathan Crome.
All right, so this is our selection for junior champion in the Nubian division. I think that our junior champion is pretty obvious, at least in my mind, and that's going to be our senior yearling, just for her strength. She's a powerhouse of a doe, just open, level of that top line, strength in that front end assembly, good strong feet and legs. So she is going to be our grand champion. And then when we go to select our reserve champion, it gets a little bit closer, but you got 2 very similar type of animals. So for me, it comes down to dairy strength. And when you get your hands on these 2 animals, and if you put your hands on these 2 animals, and you really start to feel the openness of ribbing, and I think that you would see it, what I see. I mean, I know you guys don't get to put your hands on the does, but I am going to go down to our younger doe for my reserve junior champion. She's just a really open doe. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing this doe as she grows up in the future. Congrats.
Back over here on the sheep side of things, a nice single entry to start off the wool breed division here, and a young man brings us a really tall-fronted, good-looking kind of a ram there to be a single entry. I'll be excited to get him back out here a little later on, and he can withstand some competition. Let's give this young man a round of applause.
On our dairy goat side, congratulations to Estella Gover's Striptease, who is our Nubian Junior Champion. Congratulations to Britta Ricard on exhibiting our Reserve Junior Champion, Bluebell.
If you saw some of my name.
In the ring now, we'd like to welcome our Nubian Milker Show. We're going to begin with our 2-year-old milkers, and we have a single entry.
We'd like to congratulate Nathan Crome for exhibiting your Wool Breed Champion Ram. We're now ready for our Wool Breeds Yearling U class. Looks like we have 4 entries from Emma Shaw and a single entry from Nathan Crome. So there should be 5 head in this class. Again, 4 entries from Emma Shaw and a single entry from Nathan Crome.
All right, we have a single entry in our 2-year-old class. This is a first freshening doe that is worthy of first place ribbon, and she could handle a lot of competition. She's just sharp, angular, has a nice mammary system that is good extension to that fore. So she's worthy of ribbon, and I look forward to seeing her come back into the ring to compete for champion.
Congratulations to our first place Nubian milking 2-year-old, Estella Gover's Moulin Rouge. In the ring now, we have our Nubian milking 4-year-olds. We have a single entry with a scratch. Ariella Currents is a scratch. We welcome Estella Gover.
So just one? I'll just take it now.
I like this.
Like I got it in my pocket. All right, this is a single entry in our 4-year-old milking class. Another very dairy animal, a nice sharp angular doe. She unfortunately had a little bit of mastitis, but she's cleaning it up, and it is unfortunate though because she does have a nice rear udder that if we had the other side, it would be very, very competitive.
Well, back over here on the sheep side of things, and a young lady that's going to start off the class, I think does so pretty handily. One that's, you want to study the design, how that one's made in its front end, and it's neater shouldered and it's good necked, and it gets around the ring how they should. I think that's a pretty logical way to go ahead and start the class. A young man in second, one that, in comparison, maybe just stretch out one up and elevate her up through her shoulder to get over that one in front of her, but a nice U there in second. And we get on down the line here, just some sheep of different kinds, and to go and maybe just need to make them a little better at the ground and to move any higher today. But let's give all those exhibitors a round of applause.
Results of Class 110, Wool Breed Yearling Ewes. First and second to Emma Shaw, third to Nathan Crome, fourth and fifth to Emma Shaw. At this time, we have Class 112 Wool Breeds Junior Ewe Lamb. We have a single entry by Nathan Crome.
We have another single entry. This is an 8-year-old doe. I really appreciate her strength on her feet and legs, the strength in that general appearance that she is exhibiting, and I look forward to seeing her in the ring in just a moment.
In our 4-year-old Nubian milking class, congratulations to Estella Govers, A Little Pickle. And our Nubian milking 5-year-old class, congratulations to Estella Govers, Fat Tuesday. Today, in the ring now, we'll be selecting our senior champion Nubian. Following that, we'll be selecting our grand champion Nubian. And attention all dairy goat exhibitors, now that the other shows have wrapped up and our exhibitors are back, we're going to get right with our program. So from Nubians, we're going to go back to Alpines, get our Alpines taken care of. So following our Nubian show, we ask our Alpine exhibitors to be ready at ringside. Thank you.
The young man brings us a nice single entry here, and one that is good and elevated up through her front end, and gets around the ring with some flexibility. And I'll be interested to get that one back out here in a little while. Let's give him a round of applause.
Results of Class 112. Congratulations to Nathan Crome. We're going to go ahead and bring our wool breeds in and select our champion and reserve champion Wool Breeds ewe. Your champion is sponsored by Andy and Joanne Cashman, and your reserve is sponsored by Pleasant Valley Farms. From Class 110, we have Emma Shaw first, and Emma Shaw's in second. And in Class 112, we have Nathan Crome representing this division.
All right, this is our selection for senior champion, and there's a couple trade-offs between our does, but I think that when you look at the scorecard and you're looking at all of the categories, the category that I'm going to focus on right now is mammary system, and there is a doe out here that excels the others in this capacity, the forudder extension, the proper size of mammary system for her age. So for my champion today, I'm going to go down to my 2-year-old first freshener. And she was a single entry, so I am going to go back up to the top of the line for my reserve to this beautiful 8-year-old doe that is standing on such beautiful feet and legs.
Well, we get back out here for your champion wool breed ewe, and I think there's one that just excels in a lot of places and checks the most boxes and is probably the most balanced in this particular lineup, and and I think that's where she excels. She balances in her lines, she looks good up through her front end, and then for your reserve, it's a pretty similar pair, and we'll go ahead and get you a champion in reserve.
Congratulations to Estella Govers Moulin Rouge, our senior champion Nubian. And congratulations to Estella Govers Fat Tuesday, our reserve senior champion. In the ring now, we'll be selecting our grand champion Nubians. We need our senior and junior champions in the ring, along with our reserves.
We'd like to congratulate Emma Shaw for exhibiting your champion and reserve champion wool breed. We are now going to select we have a pair of wool breed, pair of lambs exhibited by Nathan Crome. If you had a breed champion, please start making your way ringside. All breed champions Ewes and Rams ringside at this time, please.
A single entry pair of lambs here, and yeah, they're pretty similar in their type and kind, and they represent the breed characteristics there, and yeah, the young people have done a fantastic job with yeah, getting them to this point and presented and through the ring, and yeah, they should be commended. But let's give them a round of applause.
We'd like to congratulate Nathan Crome for exhibiting his first place pair of lambs in the wool breed division. We now have a pair of yearling wool breed sheep exhibited by Emma Shaw.
A single entry over here with another pair of yearling ewes, and a similar story. You know, they share the same characteristics. You know, they both you know, complement each other the way they should, and you know, the exhibitors have done a fantastic job you know, getting them through the ring and getting them shown today. Let's give them a round of applause.
All right, as we bring back our senior champion, our reserve senior champion, our junior champion, our reserve junior champion, for our selection of grand champion and reserve grand champion, I am going to stay with our two does that are at the top of the line for our grand and reserve. They just have the advantage in that mammary system over our younger does, although I am looking really forward to seeing these two younger does in the ring when they get some mammary system under them to be a little bit more competitive today.
Congratulations to Emma Shaw for exhibiting your pair of yearlings in the wool breed category. We are ready to move on to the selection of our grand champion ewe and ram. In my book, it says we're doing ewes first, but we've been doing rams first all day. So whatever it says in the book, okay, I'll follow you. So you should be getting your ewes. All breed champion ewes need to be in the makeup area. Breed champion ewes to the makeup area. Additionally, we will be doing a bred and owned champion at the end of the show. Exhibitors, you may choose one selection, bred and owned, to bring back. Thank you.
Congratulations to our grand champion Nubian, exhibited by Estella Gover, Moulin Rouge. And congratulations to our reserve grand champion Nubian, exhibited by Estella Gover, Fat Tuesday. In the ring now, we're getting ready to start our Alpine show. And so in the ring, we have our Alpine Junior kids. We have 2 entries. And attention, our dairy goat exhibitors, like I said, now that we're back on schedule, we're just going to follow the book. And so from here, after our Alpine show, we'll be moving on to our La Mancha show. So our exhibitors can be prepared.
In the ring at this time, we have the following exhibitors. Your champion Katahdin was exhibited by Emma Cole. Your champion Shropshire was exhibited by Elliot Weisschauer. Your champion Dorset was exhibited by Estella Gover. Your champion Commercial ewe is being exhibited by Madison Myers. And from our last division, your champion ewe from the wool breeds is exhibited by Emma Shaw. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we pick our supreme ewe in the 2026 Carroll County Fair.
This is our Alpine Junior Kid class. I'm going to start with 1 over 2 for advantage in general appearance. She is just showing us a little bit more strength over that top line, especially on the move, being a little bit stronger in those the front end assembly, especially on the move. Her shoulders just really track and glide across her withers more appropriately than our doe that's standing in 2. She also has an advantage in dairy strength, being a lot more open in those ribs than our second place animal. I do want to commend our second place animal for that long neck that she is exhibiting us today.
Well, we jump back over here to the sheep side of things, and here we bring out the respective breeds here, and I'm not going to go down through and describe them all. There's one out here that probably suits my agenda and where I think that the commercial sheep industry should be and where they are headed. I'm not one for big speeches, but I just want to thank Andy and the crew for having me out today to sort all 3 species, and it's been an absolute blast. And the exhibitors are incredible, and you got a lot of good things going on here in the state of Maryland. And honestly, it's my first trip down here, and in my drive last night, when you think Maryland, you think beach and Baltimore and all the things, and riding through rural Maryland was refreshing. The agriculture is alive and well down here, and it was really nice to see that, and get to spend some time and reflect why I do what I do here. And it's been a great day spending it with your exhibitors, and they've done a fantastic job. And if I can offer some advice to you, I'm still pretty young. I don't have all the life advice, but thank the committee. This is it's time consuming. It is not cheap. Thank your families, because they're giving up a lot to get you to this point. Thank you will go a long ways to those folks. But with that being said, there's one out here that suits me pretty well, and I'll go out and shake the hand of your supreme you.
We have a single entry in our intermediate kid class. Doe that could have a little bit of competition and show strong on those feet and legs, level over that top line, proper angulation to those rear legs, and she's worthy of that blue ribbon that she has earned.
We would like to take this second to congratulate our Supreme Champion ewe here at the 2026 Carroll County Fair, and that came out of our crossbred division and was exhibited by Madison Myers. In the ring at this time, we are now going to select our Supreme Ram. Your champion Katahdin was exhibited by Emma Cole. Your champion Shropshire was exhibited by Elliot Weishauer. Your commercial ram is being exhibited by Kylie Medlin. And your wool ram is being exhibited by Nathan Crome.
On our Dairy Go side, congratulations to Emily Sanders for exhibiting our first place Alpine Junior Kid. That's Emmy's Page. Second place goes to Emily Sanders Matilda. In our intermediate class, congratulations to Emily Sanders and Marley. In the ring at this time, we have a single entry for our Alpine Senior Kid class.
All right, this is a single entry in our senior kid class. This is a February kid, just a really beautiful, open-ribbed, level kid. It just shows a lot of strengths in general appearance, dairy strength, body capacity. I wish that there was a lot more competition for her because I think that she could withstand quite a bit of competition, and she's definitely worthy of a blue ribbon.
Before we get all your breeds back out here for a champion or a supreme ram, and I'm not going to speak to you again, but again, thanks for having me. It's been an absolute blast. The kids are incredible. The stock has been just as good just as good as the kids. And in this lineup, I think there's one that they brought a gun to a knife fight, for lack of better terms. I think it wins for fun, and then the rest are just if there was a reserve, they're fighting for a reserve. With that being said, I'll go ahead and get you a supreme ram.
Your Supreme Champion Ram was exhibited by Kylie Medlin. We have one final thing to do here in our breeding sheep, and that is to exhibit for our bred and owned. Bred and owned exhibitors may bring one of their sheep back in to be selected for champion bred and owned.
It's our senior yearling. This is a doe that is worthy of a blue ribbon. She's standing on some strong feet and legs. Her angulation to the rear set is nice. She is excelling in dairy strength, being a very open doe. And I look forward to seeing her in the ring for junior champion.
Alpine Senior Kid class, congratulations to Britta Ricard's Bumbles Bounce. And in our Alpine Dry Yearling class, congratulations to Emily Sanders, Miss Maribel. At this time, we'll be selecting our Alpine Junior Champion. We need all our first and second place entries in the ring.
Before we bring your bred and owned back out, and I think this division is pretty cool. We don't really have much of this in Pennsylvania where I'm from, and I have some appreciation for it because I know at a young age and you're trying to raise these things with your family or raise them on your own. It is hard, and I've talked out through the goats and through the pigs, and the amount of kids that are still you're raising these things is commendable, and my hat's off to you guys for getting them to this point. And similar story. There's an outlier in the group that just is that much, or is very good, and is pretty special.
We'd like to take this moment to congratulate Kylie Medlin for being the champion bred and owned exhibitor in our sheep show here today. That does conclude us on this side of the ring. We would like to thank everyone for being here with us today. We are going to take some pictures at the backdrop. I would also like to take this quick moment to thank Judge Ryan Driscoll for coming in today and judging for us. He has quite the trip home this evening, and we really do appreciate him being here all day. Now I'm done. I want to try and find a place to stick these. Like the booth is up there, we can stick the chairs in the booth so we don't have to haul them back. We don't have Scott Natz's stuff anymore. I used to just put it with his tack area. Because he always had a tack area right here in the corner. I feel like I know that's your chair. Huh? I feel like I know, that's Kelly's chair. It's just Kelly's chair. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get a new one. Because
because this one has been like, this went to nationals with us. Like, this has been around the block. They do. They do. I can't say we spent too much.
This is our selection of Alpine Junior Champion. And
Yeah.
for me, there was an easy topper in this class for our junior champion. She just excels in all areas of that scorecard. General appearance,
I hit hard.
body capacity, and dairy strength. And that's going to be my senior kid. She's just a really open dairy kid, and I'm glad that she got to compete against some of these other animals. She was a single entry, so now it goes down, and my competition really is going to come down from my reserve to my senior yearling and my junior kid. We have a junior kid that is really long and lean and nice and dairy strength in that neck. But then we have the maturity of our dry yearling, and so I'm going to stay with that maturity today. She's going to edge out that junior doe, but that junior doe is going to give her some competition in the future, I believe, once she starts to put all those parts together. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you being here. I was just talking about judges.
Congratulations to Britta Ricard, Bumble's Bounce, our Alpine Junior Champion. And congratulations to Emily Sanders, Miss Mirabelle, our Reserve Junior Champion.
Their drink orders, their snack preferences.
Well, they sent me all their...
At this time, we'll move on to our milking Alpine. So we'll start with our Alpine milking yearling, and we have a single entry from Emily Sanders.
Which one your brew judge is going to prefer my yearly use? It's all the same. I know, but which one will he prefer?
Oh, I don't know.
I got one that's a little chunky.
He does not like skinny, flat shit.
All right, I'll see you soon.
That helps you.
Which one?
I was trying to figure out this program, but I came a little late to the party.
Why is she in the hospital? Well, Hunter won. Showmanship, I can tell you that.
Here, Hunter?
Yeah. Same. Kylie was reserved.
A single entry in our yearling milker class. Doe that is worthy of a blue ribbon. She's a nice open doe with a mammary system that is showing us nice width in that rear. And I look forward to seeing her come back into the ring for senior champion.
First place in our Alpine milking yearling class goes to Emily Sanders Piper. Now in the ring, we'll have our Alpine milking 2-year-old class. Have a single entry from Emily Sanders. And while she comes in, just a reminder about our alumni showmanship. So our list has grown. And we're excited to welcome Ellie Huff, Laura Huff, Amy Vargas Ridinger, Emily Chamberlain, Sam Chamberlain, Wyatt Snyder, Leanne Sanders, and Linda Snyder. Again, a great list, not a sufficient one. So we're looking for some more exhibitors. You can nominate an exhibitor for $20 here at the table. Come see Torin. All right, and if you don't want to participate, it is $50 to get out. All of it goes to support the activities here at the Carroll County Fair.
Yeah, they're spread out, and then all of a sudden they just like, it's just like poof. Yes.
Poof, you're an announcement.
Another single entry in our 2-year-old class, a doe that is showing us a lot of strength in that mammary system. She was a second freshener, and she is also a very dairy animal, being sharp in those withers, open in those ribs, long lean neck. So I look forward to seeing her come back in the ring.
One final announcement for our sheep exhibitors. We have awards up here, but you need to complete your thank you notes and hand them in up here at the table to get them. Again, your awards for winning breed divisions are on the table, but you need to complete those thank you notes and hand them in to Gwen to pick them up. Thank you.
And our 2-year-old Alpine milkers, congratulations to Emily Sanders Reagan. In the ring now we have our Alpine 4-year-old milkers, another single entry from Emily Sanders.
Another single entry in our 4-year-old class, a doe that follows the same style of the other does that she's brought in. You got a doe that has strengths in that memory system. I really appreciate the length and width of rump that this doe is exhibiting, and look forward to her coming back into the ring.
Congratulations to our first place Alpine 4-year-old Emily Sanders Mara. In the ring now, our Alpine 5-year-old milkers. We have another single entry from Emily Sanders.
We have a single entry in our 5-year-old class, a doe that's worthy of that blue ribbon. She's sharp and angular, long lean neck, a nice rear udder on this doe, and I look forward to her competing against the other does in just a moment.
In our 5-year-old Alpine milker class, congratulations to Emily Sanders Paisley. And at this time, we'll be selecting our senior champion Alpines. We need all of our first place entries in the ring. We should have 4 total in the class.
All right, this is our competition for Alpine Senior Champion. And for my senior champion, I am going to go to the doe that's at the top of the line, mainly for that strength in that rear udder that she is exhibiting, more proper placement of the teats onto the udder floor. The one area in the mammary that I would like to see a little bit of strength in is that extension of that fore udder, but overall she exhibits the advantages in all of the categories of the scorecard. So she will be my senior champion. And for my reserve senior champion, seeing that she was a single entry, I'm going to go to the doe that is right directly behind her. She is just showing us, she has more lactations under her. Her mammary system is higher than our two does that are behind her, and she has a little bit more strength in that forudder attachment than our two does that are younger at this time. So my senior champion will be my age doe, and then my 4-year-old will be my reserve.
Congratulations to Emily Sanders Paisley, our Alpine Senior Champion. And congratulations to Emily Sanders Mera, our Reserve Senior Champion Alpine. We'd like to see Paisley and Mera back in the ring for the selection of our Grand Champion Alpine. We're also looking for Britta Ricard's Bounce and Emily Sanders Miss Mirabelle.
Now we brought back our junior champion and our reserve junior champion to compete, and while I appreciate and I love this junior champion, unfortunately she just doesn't have the development in that mammary system to be able to compete against our senior champion and our reserve senior champion. So our senior champion will be our grand champion, and our reserve senior champion will be our reserve grand champion.
Congratulations to Emily Sanders Paisley, who is our Grand Champion Alpine. And congratulations to Emily Sanders Mera, our Reserve Grand Champion Alpine. At this time, we're going to start our La Mancha show. We're going to begin with our La Mancha Junior Kids. We should have 2 entries from Estella Gover.
this is our class of junior La Manchas. I am going to place 1 over 2 for Substance of Bone. She's just in a different stage of development than our doe that's standing in second, but these are two very, very similar does with the sharpness of withers, strength on those feet and legs, and I think that any day they could be switched back and forth between the two. But today I'm just going to go with the Substance of Bone with our doe 1 over 2.
In our La Mancha Junior Kid class, congratulations to Estella Gover's Lust. Second place to Estella Gover's Envy. In the ring now, we have our La Mancha Intermediate Kid class. We have 2 entries from Estella Gover.
I'm going to leave these 2 animals as they came into the ring, 1 over 2. 1 is placing over 2 for advantages in general appearance, being a little bit stronger on those feet and legs, especially those forelegs, as she moves into around the ring. And also she's just showing us a little bit more levelness over that chine than our doe that's standing in 2. With couple that with the width in that escutcheon is why she's going to place over our second place doe.
In our La Mancha Intermediate class, congratulations to Estella Gover's Caramel Cream. Second place to Estella Gover's Dolce. Next we have our La Mancha Senior Kid class. We have a single entry from Estella Gover.
We have a single entry in our senior kid class. A doe that's worthy of the blue ribbon, being open in the ribs, nice level over that top line, a lot of width in that rump, and I look forward to seeing her back in the ring.
In our La Mancha Senior Kid class, congratulations to Estella Gover's Drama. In the ring now, we have our La Mancha Dry Yearling class, and we have 6 entries.
Hi, this is our La Mancha senior yearling class. I'm going to start with a doe that's at the head of the line. I think that she very easily came to the top of the line for her general appearance, being just a doe that has a lot of substance and upstandingness and strength in those feet and legs, especially those forelegs. When she's tracking nice and smoothly ahead of the rest of the class. And especially on those rear legs too, just a complete package on this doe over the rest of the class. 2, 3, and 4 were animals that very comparative and could be exchanged. I'm going to go with a little more, the doe with a little bit more dairy strength. In 2, being a little bit sharper, longer and leaner in that neck than our doe that's standing in 3. 3 is placing over 4 for advantages in general appearance, being a little bit stronger on those rear pasterns than our doe that's in 4, a little bit more levelness over that top line, and especially when they're on the move, than our doe in 4. 4 is placing over 5 for his advantage in dairy strength, being a little bit more of a stretchy, more open animal than our doe that's standing in 5. 5 is placing over 6 for their advantage in general appearance, strength in that front end assembly over our doe that's standing in 6, and also strength on those feet and legs, especially the rear pasterns, than our doe that's standing in 6. 6, I would like to commend her on her body capacity.
In our La Mancha Dry Yearling class, congratulations to Kylie Medlin's Cinderella. Second place to Emma Arba's Toffee. Third place to Hunter Hoff's Rios. Fourth place, Weston Hoff's Treasure. Fifth place, Emma Arbaugh's Tia. And sixth place, Lloyd Arbaugh's Tanya. In the ring at this time, we'll be selecting our La Mancha Junior Champion. We need all our first and second place entries in the ring.
All right, this is my selection for junior champion. And as we look up and down this line, I am going to select for my junior champion the doe at the head of the line. She's just showing us a lot more substance of bone, levelness over that top line, strength in those feet and legs over the remainder of the class. And she's going to be my grand champion, or my junior champion. And for my reserve junior champion, I'm going to go to the opposite end of the line and go down to that junior kid. She's just a long-necked, open-ribbed kid that I think that as she starts to grow, she's just going to be more impressive as she keeps going. And so she'll be my reserve junior champion.
Congratulations to Kylie Medlin for exhibiting our junior champion La Mancha, Cinderella. And congratulations to Estella Gover for exhibiting our reserve junior champion La Mancha, Lust. We welcome to the ring our La Mancha 5-year-old milkers, and we have 2 entries from Estella Gover. Correction, we have a La Mancha milking yearling, a single entry from Estella Gover.
We have a single entry in our yearling milker class today. A doe that I think could have a little bit of competition. She's got a nice strength in that mammary system, levelness over the top line, appropriate size for her age at this time, and I look forward to seeing her back in the ring.
First place in our La Mancha milking yearling class is Estella Gover's Ophelia. Now we welcome into the ring our 5-year-old La Mancha milkers. We have two entries from Estella Gover.
This is our age doe class, and I'm going to start the class with our 5-year-old doe that just has more capacity to that mammary system. She's a much more open doe than our doe that's standing into. Even though I do appreciate the general appearance on this doe that's standing behind her, she just doesn't have the mammary system and capacity to compete with the doe in front of her today.
In our 5-year-old La Mancha milking class, first place to Estella Govers Victoria, second place to Estella Govers Walk the Line. We need all our first place milking La Mancha entries in the ring as we select our senior champion La Mancha.
This is my selection for La Mancha Senior Champion. I am going to go to the doe that's at the head of the line. She just has more lactations under her while still maintaining the height and width of rear udder capacity. She's just showing us a lot more capacity than our doe that's standing behind her, although overall attachment I do appreciate on this younger doe, and I think she has a very bright future ahead of her. But for my senior champion, I'm going to go to the head of the line. For my reserve senior champion, I am going to go back to the yearling milker down here, just for the shape, strength and mammary system, the width of that rear udder, the teat placement, and I'm going to make her our reserve champion.
Congratulations to our senior champion La Mancha, Estella Govers Victoria. And our reserve senior champion La Mancha is Estella Govers Ophelia. At this time, we'll be selecting our grand champion La Mancha, so we're looking for Kylie Medlin's Cinderella and Estella Govers Lust back in the ring as we select our grand champion La Mancha.
For my selection of grand champion, I am going to stick with my senior senior champion, my reserve senior champion, for my grand and my reserve grand champion, mainly because they have the extra mammary system that our doe behind her does not, our junior champion of the day. Although I do look forward to seeing this doe in milk, and hopefully next year we'll get to see her with a mammary system competing against these does ahead of her in the future.
Our grand champion La Mancha is Estella Govers Victoria, and our reserve grand champion La Mancha is Estella Govers Ophelia. Next in our show, we'll be moving to our Oberhausley division. We'll begin with our junior category, and we have a single entry in Oberhausley Senior Kid.
This is our Oberhasli junior kid. A doe that is sharp and angular, open rib, has a nice long stretch to her, and I look forward to seeing her come back in for our senior champion, or junior champion.
Congratulations to Emily Sanders Violet, our first place Oberhasli senior kid.
This is our senior kid class, a nice long stretchy doe that is sharp in that front end, strength on those feet and legs, and I look forward to seeing her in the lineup for junior champion.
Did they give her a ribbon?
In our Oberhasli senior kid class, congratulations to Emily Sanders Violet.
These are our senior yearlings. I'm going to leave them as they came into the ring. One is placing over 2 for advantages in general appearance. As they were coming into the ring and as they were at rest, if you look at the rear legs on the 2 of these does, you have more proper angulation in our doe that's at the head of the line over our second place doe. And that's the main reason why she is going to be our first place dry yearling. I do appreciate the sharpness of withers on our second place animal.
In our Oberhasli dry yearling class, first place goes to Emily Sanders Atina. Second place to Emily Sanders Daphne. In the ring at this time, we'll select our Oberhasli junior champion.
All right, this is a selection of my junior champion. For my junior champion, I am going to go to the head of the line with our dry yearling. She just has more maturity, levelness over that top line, strengthen that, the rear leg set over the balance of the class. She's a little bit more sharper, more angular than the rest of the animals as well. So she will be my junior champion. And when we look at our second place dry yearling and compare her against the other animals, I do think that her biggest competition is a senior kid, but I'm going to stay in that same class just for the maturity that they're both exhibiting. And as they're walking around the ring, you're seeing a little bit more sharpness and more proper motion of the shoulders of the second place dry yearling. So she will be my reserve junior champion.
Congratulations to Emily Sanders Atina, our Oberhausley Junior Champion. And congratulations to Emily Sanders Daphne, our Reserve Junior Champion, Oberhausley. Move on to our Oberhausley Senior Show, and we're looking for our Oberhausley Milking 2-year-olds. We have 2 entries from Emily Sanders. I want to make one more announcement about our alumni showmanship, which will be taking place immediately after the fair. If you want to get in, you're getting in right at the finish line. So we're excited to welcome Ellie Huff, Laura Huff, Amy Vargas, Emily Chamberlain, Sam Chamberlain, Wyatt Snyder, Leanne Sanders, Linda Snyder, Bethany Roberts, Danielle Natz, Andrew Natz. How did Andrew get on this list? And there's spot for you as well. So to get on the list, it's $20 for you, or to nominate somebody, it is $50 to get off. So last call, you can come up and see my buddy Torin here at the desk. He's happy to sort it out for you.
All right, this is the start of our Oberhausley milking show. We've got a 2-year-old first freshener that is showing us a lot of strength in that mammary system, a lot of width in that rear udder, a lot of strength in that fore udder attachment. Nice teat placement, and she's also showing us strength in general appearance, being strong on those front feet, and as she tracks in the front, her front feet are tracking more properly than some of the other animals that we've seen in the ring so far, but I appreciate that up this step.
In our Oberhausley Milking 2-year-old class, congratulations to Emily Sanders Kenzie. And Emily Sanders Delia is a scratch. So Kenzie is a single entry winner. At this time we have Oberhausley Milking 4-year-olds. We have Emily Sanders with a single entry.
have another single entry in our 4-year-old class, and she's a third freshener. She is showing us a lot of strength on those feet and legs, sharpness of the withers, strength in that mammary system, with showing us nice attachments in that rear udder. So she is worthy of that first place ribbon.
For 4-year-old Oberhasleys, congratulations to Emily Sanders Destiny. Next in the ring, we have our Oberhasley 5 years and older. We have 2 entries from Emily Sanders.
These are age does. I'm going to start with our doe that is at the head of the line for that strength in that mammary system, showing us a lot more width, overall attachment, in proper teat placement over our doe that's in 2. She also has an advantage in general appearance, being a little bit tighter in those shoulders than our aged doe, who's starting to show her age a little bit. But I do appreciate that she's standing strong on those feet and legs as she's still being productive at this age. So I look forward to seeing both of them back in the ring.
In our Oberhasley Age Milker Division, congratulations to Emily Sanders Kiara. Second place to Emily Sanders Adelina. We welcome now our first and second place entries for our senior champion Oberhasley.
All right, so this is our selection for Oberhasley Senior Champion. As I look at these does, I think the competition really lies with our age doe and our 2-year-old. And when you start to look at the two, they're very similar. But I think today, one of them is just showing us a little bit more strength in that mammary system, length of bone overall top line, strength on those feet and legs. I am going to actually go down to this 2-year-old first freshener. I just find her to be a really balanced doe, and she could really use a lot of competition. So which means that for my reserve, I'm going to go up to my age doe, the 5 or 6-year-old at the top of the class.
Congratulations to Emily Sanders-Kenzie, our Oberhausley Senior Champion. And congratulations to Emily Sanders-Kiara, our Oberhausley Reserve Senior Champion. At this time, we'll be selecting our Grand Champion Oberhausley. And we are looking for Atina and Daphne.
This is our selection for Grand Champion, and I think that it's pretty obvious that we have to stay with our senior and reserve senior champion, just for the balance of those mammary systems that they are possessing today. So our senior champion and reserve senior champion will be our Grand Champion and our reserve Grand Champion.
Congratulations to our Grand Champion Oberhausley, Emmy Sanders-Kenzie. And congratulations to our Oberhausley Reserve Grand Champion, Emily Sanders-Kiara.
Who is the Grand Champion?
Following our recorded grade class, we're going to go into our group classes. So exhibitors will be doing our group classes such as Best Bred and Owned, Dam and Daughter, Produce of Dam, Get of Sire, and Dairy Herd. We'll be doing them prior to our selection of Best Doe in Show.
House parenting is a career unlike any other, where family is part of the experience. It's a full-time job with lifelong impact. Become house parents with your spouse at Milton Hershey School. In the ring now, we have our recorded grade senior kid class with a single entry from Britta Ricard.
right, this is a senior kid born in February, a really flashy looking kid with her markings, but she also has some strength in the top line, showing us sharpness over those withers, strength on those rear pasterns, and she will get a blue ribbon.
Congratulations to Britta Ricard's Vespa, our first place recorded grade senior kid. Next in the ring, we'll have a recorded grade dry yearlings. We have a single entry from Emily Sanders.
We have a single entry in our recorded grade dry yearling class. Adola usually earns her blue ribbon being strong over that top line, being level over that rump, showing us a nice angulation of those rear legs that showing us sharpness and openness of the ribbing.
Congratulations to Emily Sanders, Miss Seneva, our first place recorded grade dry yearling. We're looking for Britta Ricard back in the ring for our selection of our junior champion and grand champion recorded grade. And attention all dairy goat exhibitors, following the selection of our grand champion recorded grade, we'll be doing best bred and owned junior and senior doe. So you may select your best animal. Please have them at ringside ready to go.
All right, so this is our selection of junior champion, grand champion for the recorded grade, seeing that they are the only two very similar type animals. Obviously they don't look alike, but they do have very similar parts. So I'm going to go to the dry yearling for the maturity that she's showing, also the levelness over that rump from thorough to thorough. That is just going to put her over our spotted doe behind her. But the spotted doe will be my reserve grand champion for today.
Our junior champion and grand champion recorded grade goes to Emily Sanders, Miss Seneva. And our reserve junior champion and reserve grand champion recorded grade goes to Britta Ricard's Vespa. In the ring now we have our best bred and owned junior doe. And these are animals that have been bred and owned by our exhibitors, so bred on their farms. They've raised them since the day they were born. We'll start with our junior doe, so our non-milkers, and we'll be selecting a single winner in this class. We'll select a single best bred and owned junior doe.
This is our selection of best bred and owned junior doe. I'm going to go to the Nubian doe for my best bred and owned, just showing us a little bit more strength in that front end assembly over our Oberhasli type doe that you see here. So for my best bred and owned, I am going to go to the Nubian doe.
Our best bred and owned junior doe is a Stella Gover's Striptease. Remember, I'm a preacher, all right?
I know, that's why I haven't showed you any of my goats names.
Not my jam. In the ring at this time, we have our best bred and owned senior doe, and so these are animals bred and owned by the exhibitors, and these are animals that have freshened.
All right, so this is our best bred and owned. I think that when you look at these two, there's definite trade-offs between the two. They're both 2-year-olds, but I think I'm going to go with the doe that has the strength in that mammary system, just showing us a little bit more strength in that forudder, more proper teat placement. And that's going to be my Oberhasli doe. So my Oberhasli will be my best bred and owned senior doe today.
Congratulations to Emily Sanders, who exhibit our best bred and owned senior doe. That is Emily Sanders Kenzie. While we have a minute, I'm going to do one more last call on our alumni showmanship. All right, our list continues to grow. So we're excited to have Ellie Hoff, Laura Hoff, Amy Vargas, Emily Chamberlain, Sam Chamberlain, Wyatt Snyder, Leanne Sanders, Linda Snyders, Bethany Roberts, Danielle Natz, Andrew Natz, Jeff Medlin, and now appearing for the first time at the Carroll County Show and Alumni Showmanship, we welcome Jason Peckham as well. $50 to get out, Judge. I got money for you. All right, I got to pay you. But if anybody else wants to get in, one last call, you can come see my buddy Torin up here at the head table. He'll hook you up.
All right, this is our dam and daughter, and I am going to go to our first place group is right in with these La Mancha does for their strength in mammary system, but also for their dairy strength, their openness of ribbing, and we're placing them over our alpine does that are going to be our second place group.
In our dam and daughter class, congratulations to Estella Gover, and second place to Emily Sanders. Next is our produce of dam class, and these are two animals with the same mother. We're looking for 2 entries.
right, this is our produce of dam, and I am going to go back to the La Mancha type doughs for my first place group. They're just showing us a lot more smoothness of blending, levelness over that top line, strengthening those feet and legs, and more proper angulation to their rump structure over our over-hostly doughs, who should be commended for their openness of ribbing today.
In our produce of dam class, congratulations to Estella Gover. Second place to Emily Sanders. Next in the ring, we'll have our Get of Sire class. And Get of Sire is 3 doughs with the same buck or the same father. So we have 2 entries in that class.
All right, this is our junior it'd just be our Get of Sire class. I am going to leave them as they came in. Our first place one is going to be the Oberhasli group, showing us a lot of levelness and length of bone. Also, they also have an advantage that they have one doe that is in milk. She also happens to be our champion in that breed. So it makes me sit and get excited to see what the other 2 are going to come, but they're just showing us a little bit more consistency throughout over our La Mancha type does, or actually not La Mancha type, but La Mancha does. But these does should be commended, and they, on their general appearance, strengthen that front end assembly, and yeah.
First place in our Get of Sire class goes to Emily Sanders. Second place goes to Estella Gover. Next in the ring, we welcome our Dairy Herd class. And we remember that at the end of the day, these animals are all about producing milk. And so we want to celebrate the herds, the exhibitors who are able to produce milk at a high rate and at a quality rate. And so these are 3 milkers exhibited by the same exhibitor. We have 2 exhibits, one from Emily Sanders, one from Estella Gover. And attention to all our breed grand champion winners. Here in a moment, we'll be selecting our best udder and best doe in show. So please have those grand champion does to ringside, please. Thank you.
All right, this is our dairy herd class, and where we're looking at strength. And I think the word dairy comes to mind, and when we look at the word dairy, I think of the dairy strength and mammary system. And when we're looking at mammary systems, I think that I have to go with a group that's at the front of the line and just showing us a little bit more strength in that rear udder attachment, width and height of mammary systems, a little bit more strength in those forerudders than our does that are standing behind us. They're also showing us a little bit more openness of ribbing than our does that are standing in two. I do appreciate the general appearance on our second place group, though.
In our dairy herd class, congratulations to Emily Sanders, and second place to Estella Gover.
All right, best daughter.
At this time, we'll bring our grand champions of each of our breed classes into the ring for selection of our best udder and best doe. And while we do that, I want to say thank you again to our judge, Jason Peckham, who not only is a longtime exhibitor of Oberhausley and Toggenburg goats, and also a national champion in his own right, but a local school teacher. And so we want to say thank you to him for coming and being with us, and not only for sharing his expertise of our dairy goats, but also just being a delight to work with, and a delight with the kids, delight at the table. It's been an absolute joy to have Jason with us. Would you join me in saying thank you to Jason Peckham, our judge today at the Carroll County Fair?
All right, so this is my selection for Best Doe in Show. And so just a little bit about these does. The does that are on the ends are 2-year-olds, and then the does that are in the middle are 6-year-olds. Our does on the end are 2-year-old first fresheners. Our middle does are both 6-year-old 5 fresheners, if I'm correct. And I think that there's a lot of trade-offs with where I want to go with this, but when I said, if you were watching, you might have saw my lips moving because I was talking to myself, going through the scorecard and trying to really find the doe that I think that balances that scorecard. Maybe not the complete strength in one category, but overall gives us a really balanced doe. And I think it comes down between 2 animals, and those are the 2 on each end of the line, which are my 2 younger does. While I do appreciate the 2 does that are in the middle, they're starting to show their age. I'd like to see a little bit more smoothness on that alpine and that blending into the neck into the withers. I'd like to see a little bit more strength in the mammary system in the foreudder on our La Mancha doe. So when I look at my 2 does on each end, they both come down to different strengths. And when we look at the balance of the goats, I think the balanced goat here today for me is that the Nubian type doe. So the Nubian is going to be my best doe in show today. Just for that strength and general appearance. It should really balances with that levelness over that top line, the strength in those feet and legs, the smoothness in that front end assembly over the remainder of the class. So she will be my best doe in show today. And then I'm told that I'm going to leave these ones in here. And as I said, there were some strengths that go back and forth between the categories, and now we're looking at best udder in show. And I think that for our best udder in show, that's where the strength comes to this Oberhasli. And the Oberhasli is just showing us the strength in that foreudder, more proper delineation of the teats, more properly placed on the floor of the udder, width and strength to the attachments of that memory system. So our Oberhasli will be our best udder in show.
Congratulations to Estella Gover for exhibiting our best doe in show, Estella's Moulin Rouge. And our best udder in show is exhibited by Emily Sanders, Kenzie. So congratulations to those exhibitors and to all of our exhibitors on an excellent Dairy Goat show today. We say thank you so much, and we hope you had a good time. We have 2 more awards sitting here on the table that we want to give away. And we want to invite back into the ring our last year exhibitors, Estella Gover and Kylie Medlin. And as they come back in, we have 2 exhibitors on the extreme ends of their experience exhibiting dairy goats. Estella has been showing goats since I remember, since she was very, very little, and has really been has been an excellent example of what a showman is all about. Kylie has stepped into the ring for the first time this year, and it's her first time exhibiting a dairy goat here at the Carroll County Fair. But if you know Estella and Kylie, you know the 2 of them have excelled not only here as dairy goat exhibitors, but across the species here at the Carroll County Fair. And we're grateful for the example that they are of just excellent 4-H'ers, good leaders in our community, and people who indeed are the future of agriculture. And so congratulations to Estella and Kylie. We will miss you next year, but we're grateful that you showed here at the Carroll County Fair and for all your years of service. Let's give them a round of applause. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and then we're excited to bring in our alumni showman competition. And so we're going to take a breather, everybody get a drink, allow our alumni showmen to find themselves an animal, and we're excited to welcome our judge for today, Mr. Hunter Huff, our 2026 Grand Champion Showman for the Dairy Goat Department. So Hunter will be judging us, and we'll be getting started here in just a couple of minutes.
House parenting is a career unlike any other, where family is part of the experience. It's a full-time job with lifelong impact. Become house parents with your spouse at Milton Hershey School.
one of them at
To start, I'm gonna make a ball switch. Get out there. I'll start it now.
All right, we're ready to start. So, whenever you're ready. We have 12 exhibitors. Some are past 4-Hers, parents, judges even, all kinds coming out here to show. Our judge is our grand champion showman, Hunter Hoff. There's also no hats allowed in the ring, gentlemen. No hats. No hats. Today we have Ellie Huff, Laura Huff, Sam Chamberlain, Wyatt Snyder, Leanne Sanders, Linda Snyder, Bethany Roberts, Danielle Natz, Andrew Natz, Jason Peckman, and Jeff Medlin. I said no hats, gentlemen. And that's what happens when you wear a hat in the ring. Hunter took out his own mother. Womp womp.
Hunter, what in the world you got these people doing? Danielle, looks like you're struggling a little. Oh. Looks like she got Mr. Hops. Is that a phone I see? No phones in showmanship. Hunter, you better look at that. Ah!
I kept playing with my phone early on. I'm thirsty, man.
And then there was 4. Hunter, you need to break your goats a little bit better. They're hopping around. No excuses. Miss bites a lot, gets kicked. You would leave the judge in, Hunter. I said you would leave the judge in.
Who do you think he's going to pick? Probably the big fan.
Yep. You got anything smart to say?
I got a lot of smart things to say, but I don't want to say them. kid who decided to get squirrely. It's not my fault. I never showed a kid in my life.
I should have grabbed the mic to my car and had you guys mic'd up in the ring. That would have been funny. Madison, I had a mic in my bag. I thought you were before. I was Madison was supposed to make a radio podcast. My dad.
Today, I'm going to go with Wyatt because when it came down to the last moment, he did give the better reason, but he had his goat better presented.
No, your handshake.
Congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's hard, right? It's really hard.
House parenting is a career unlike any other, where family is part of the experience. It's a full-time job with lifelong impact. Become house parents with your spouse at Milton Hershey School.